To start off, I took the computer's case off and extracted the optical drive from them. That's where the CD goes. I opened that and took out what will later be one of the axes. Inside this part is the laser, the CD reader. I'm going to call this part the drag. It's what contains the laser that reads the CDs. I have to take the electrical components off the drag. That's where 3D pen or platform will be mounted onto. I put it back to where it was before, and because it can move back and forth, it will be used to make the X, Y and Z axis. This part may be the most stressful of them all. I had to constantly solder and unsolder cables and wires onto the stepper motors. These are the motors that move the drag bidirectionally. To make the first mount, I marked holes and drilled them where a Y-axis will be mounted on. Then I drilled 2 holes on the drag to be able to add either a platform or a 3D pen on it. Consequently, I drilled the holes on the platform. I made the first mount by adding the axis on the back of an optical drive case with a platform on top. This will be the Y-axis. Later, I started the second mount, screwing the axis perpendicularly on the back of another optical drive case, and then drilled holes for the platform. This will be the X-axis. As a result, I made the platform where the 3D pen will be mounted on, and added the axis onto it. This will be the Z-axis, which will be mounted on top of the X one. Finally, I joined the 2 last mounts together, which of course contain the X and Z axis. In this part, I adjusted the mounts and put them together with an L-shaped bracket. At the bottom, as you can see, there's the Y axis, and on top there's the X axis with the Z axis on its platform. Once I checked that everything seemed correct, I moved on to the next part. I followed this diagram, which is basically showing that for the 3D printer to work, I had to tweak some cables from one of the old computer's battery, which are used as a power supply. After that, I followed this second and third diagram. To briefly explain them, the stepper motors have to connect to the red circuits. These are the stepper motor controllers, which are powered by the power supply from the old computer. These stepper motor controllers are connected to a breadboard and an Arduino, which is connected to a computer, which will later program the movement. The 3D pen is connected to another breadboard, which is also connected to the Arduino. To check that it works and doesn't blow up, I connected the Arduino to the computer and the green lights turned on. Now it was time to work with the 3D pen. I opened it up to find the pins that extrude the plastic when the button is pressed. To check which pins they were, I connected a resistor. If the motor turns on, it's a good sign. Afterwards, I soldered 2 cables where the pins were to connect them to the other breadboard so that I could control the 3D pen's motor from the computer. This is the breadboard that connects the 3D pen to the Arduino, which is connected to the computer. I had to add a transistor and resistor for it to work. To program the 3D printer, I downloaded some programs. Finally, I turned it all on and checked that all the 3 motors worked efficiently. Then I glued the 3D pen on the Z-axis and started, or at least tried, making some shapes. For example, I tried making a 3D rectangle, but it turned out to be a boxing ring. Nevertheless, I'm proud to say that I have made a 3D printer out of old computers.